Your communication hub and literary arts center of Isabela. English Academy.
An analogy describes the relationship between words. Subject, verb, or teacher.
One and. English Academy.
Tayo na sa Radyo Eskwela. Tayo na!
A happy day, everyone! Have you been living a happy life, grade 10 learners? I hope you do! To make this day even happier, stay with us on your favorite radio station, SDO Isabela's Radyo Eskwela, because a happy life is one spent in learning, earning, and yearning by Lillian Gish. I am Teacher Emma Luisa, your radio teacher in this grade 10 English episode. For you to stay happy, come and learn with us.
All right.
First, let's check your readiness for today's session. Staying on your most convenient and safest place? Check. Can hear as well? Nice! Notes, papers, and pen are available? Wonderful! Mind is set? Great! A smile on your lips? Perfect! You are ready, so let the fun learning begins!
Yay!
Before we proceed on today's topic, let's reevaluate what you have learned on the previous episode. Ready?
Oh, yeah.
Let's recall together. Last time, you have learned on how to compose an independent critique of a chosen selection. What is critique again? Correct! It is a systematic analysis of a piece of literature that discusses its validity and evaluates its worth. What about the parts of critical analysis template? Good! Introduction, body, analysis, and conclusion are the parts of critical analysis template. Do you still remember the guidelines in writing a critique? Brilliant! We have to identify the context, author's intention, giving of reactions, literary devices and techniques used, and ending of the story. Wow! You remember well!
Yay!
For now, let me know your stand on the viral video, Lugaw is Essential. I'll let you think. Few might think that the English name of lugaw is porridge, and others think on how to defend that lugaw is essential or not. Do you know that what you did is a simple critiquing? Critiquing at others' work at some point has negative effects. However, critique develops the culture of improving student work by harnessing their skill to look into things. So, be ready because let's critique formally literary works today and learn different guidelines of doing it. You have done it before. You can do better this time. Just keep the passion for learning and it will be a piece of cake. Today, we'll be using structuralist and formalist approach in critiquing literary sections.
All right.
Structuralist in linguistics examines how elements of language relate to each other in the present. It originates from the Swiss linguist Ferdinand de Saussure, one of the fathers of 20th century linguistics and semiotics or semiology. and often credited as proponent of structuralism as prominent form of criticism. Structuralist critics analyzed materials by examining underlying structures such as characterization, plot, chronological or time sequence, description, listing, comparison and contrast, cause and effect, and problem and solution. Did you get it, grade 10 students?
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful! On the other hand, formalistic approach to literature examines text by its organic form, its setting, theme, scene, narrative, image, and symbol. It is often referred as a scientific approach to literature because of its methodical and systematic readings of texts. It also aims to analyze merely the text itself. Formalists' primary goal for formalist critics is to determine how elements work together with the text content to shape its effects upon readers. Is it clear?
Oh yeah!
Very good. To some, structuralists and formalists are the same due to intertwined structure and elements of narrative. Do you know that structuralist or formalist criticism have major literary terms? What are they? Note, we have the plot, setting, character, point of view, theme, symbols, imagery, and mood and tone. Did you note them all?
Yes, ma'am.
Great! Let's discuss these elements and structure one by one. First, what is a plot? It is the sequence of events in story. Plot has 5 essential parts: exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. Can you say that again? Wonderful! They are exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. Number 1. Exposition refers to the introduction or the beginning of the story, which reveals characters and setting. For example, Peter was always scared of tigers. It was a well-known fact that there were many tigers in the jungle where he was traveling. This made him especially fearful. One day, when he was in the jungle, he saw a tiger, and he was very scared. Based on the example, who is the character? Right, he is Peter. Where is the setting? Good, he is in the jungle. Very simple, right?
Oh yeah!
Number 2. Rising action is an event referring to problem, may be internal or external conflict. An external conflict exists between a character to another character, nature, society, fate out of character's control. Example, stepmother of Cinderella sabotaged her chance to attend the royal ball. On the other hand, internal conflict occurs when a character struggles within the self, such as fear or insecurity. Example, Raskolnikov feels deep guilt and internal torment after he committed a terrible crime. Did you see the difference? Wonderful! Number 3. The climax is the turning point of the story. Readers usually wonder if the conflict will be resolved or not. Example, in the tale Cinderella, the moment when Cinderella's turn to try the glass slipper and it fits. Intense, isn't it?
Oh yeah!
Number 4. Falling action means events and complications start to fall into place. For an instance, In the classic fairy tale Cinderella, the prince's recognition of Cinderella is the story's falling action. Sweet, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Lastly, the resolution or conclusion is considered as the final outcome of events in the story or its ending. It is sometimes referred to by the French term denouement, which means to untie. For example, a young girl fights the disease, cancer, undergoes treatments, and influences others with her positive attitude and great outlook in life, but eventually passes away from the disease. A tragic ending, right?
Oh, yeah.
We have completed the parts of a plot. First, exposition. Second, rising action. Third, climax. Fourth, falling action. Fifth, resolution. There you have it.
All right.
Let's now proceed with the second major literary term of structuralist and formalist criticism, the setting. It refers to time and location the story takes place. Setting includes also the following: place, time, weather conditions, social conditions, and mood or atmosphere. Can you say that again? Nice! Place, time, weather conditions, social conditions, and mood or atmosphere. Number 1. Place. For example, Mr. Jones of the manure farm had locked the hen houses for the night, but was too drunk to remember to shut the pop holes. Where did it happen? Great! In the manure farm. Place is the geographical location where the action of the story took place. Piece of cake, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Number 2. Time. For example, in the early weeks of 1837, Charles Darwin was a busy young man living in London. So, when did it happen? Nice! It's in the early weeks of 1837. Time can be historical period, time of the day, year, and others. It answers the question, when is the story taking place? Number 3. Weather conditions. Example: because the nights were cold and because the monsoons were wet, each man carried a green plastic poncho that could be used as a raincoat or ground sheet or makeshift tent. Is it rainy or sunny? Even if the exact place and time were not mentioned, you can still identify its setting through weather conditions. Number 4. Social conditions. For example, as soon as he climbed out of the car, he knew he was home. His eyes hadn't adjusted to the bright sunlight yet, but he could smell the salt in the air, while the waves made crashing noises as they hit the shores. The hair in his neck stood up. He was finally home. Can you tell the kind of life the character has? That's right! It can be near the sea. It answers the question, what is the daily life of the characters like? That's social condition. And lastly, number 5, mood or atmosphere. Here, it answers the question, what feeling is created at the beginning of the story? Let's have this example. The river, reflecting the clear blue of the sky, glistened and sparkled as it flowed noiselessly on. What atmosphere or mood does it make you feel? You're right! It's about being calm and peaceful. Place, time, weather conditions, social conditions, and mood or atmosphere are the different kinds of setting in a literary piece. Did you get all that? Easy, right? Very good! The third major literary term of structuralist and formalist criticism is the character. It refers to the person or qualities of a person in the story. People in a work of fiction can be a protagonist or the principal character of a story, or an antagonist or enemy of main character. In addition, characters can be round, flat, dynamic, and static. Quite interesting, do you think so?
Oh yeah!
Let's begin with number 1, round characters. Characters have fully developed personalities that are affected by the story's events. Characters are mostly convincing when they resemble real people by being consistent, motivated, and lifelike. Example, in the Disney movie Beauty and the Beast, the protagonist, Belle, is a round character. Why do we say that? At times, Belle may be caring and gentle with her father, but at the same time, she shows wit and strength when warding off the undesirable suitor Gaston. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Great! Number 2, flat characters. It is a one-dimensional character. Example, in Disney's Finding Nemo, the sea turtle Crush personifies the stereotypical surfer dude in the film with his constant usage of the word dude. This turtle plays a minor character in the film and does not have complexity to his personality like the main characters. Simple, right?
Oh yeah!
Number 3, dynamic are characters who go through change and grow during a story. For example, in the movie Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Harry, the protagonist, perceives that he possesses abilities similar to Tom Riddle, who becomes the evil Lord Voldemort, which worries him that he might be an evil character. Interesting, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Lastly, number 4, static characters who does not go through change. For example, Scar in the movie The Lion King is an example of a static character. Scar is a sly and the clever brother to Lion King. This cunning character plots to kill Simba and his father. He keeps his personality traits until the end. Are you still having fun?
Oh yeah!
Good to know! We are now on the fourth major literary term of structuralist and formalist criticism, which is the point of view. It is the angle from which the story is told. The point of view can be in the first person, second person, or third person. Say that again, students. Great! First person, second person, and third person. In the first person point of view, the person telling the story is a character and speaks from an I perspective. For example, from Sandra Cisneros entitled 11. Today, I wish I was 102 instead of 11, because if I was 102, I'd have known what to say when Mrs. Price put the red sweater on my desk. Since the character used I, it belongs to the first person point of view. As simple as that, students. Whereas, a second person point of view allows you, the reader, to experience the story through a you perspective. This point of view is not as common as first or third person points of view. For example, from R.A. Montgomery, entitled Journey Under the Sea, from the Choose Your Own Adventure series. You are a deep sea explorer searching for the famed lost city of Atlantis. This is your most challenging and dangerous mission. Since the character used to you in the story, this makes it in the second person point of view. Pretty easy, right?
Oh yeah!
And lastly, third-person narrator tells a story that is happening to other people. The narrator can be omniscient, who knows all events and characters and follows one or few characters. Example from Joseph Miller entitled Catch-22. Usayan was moved very deeply by the absolute simplicity of this clause of Catch-22 and let out a respectful whistle. The speaker can also use the pronouns he, she, it, they, his, hers, its, and theirs in the third person point of view. See, I told you it's easy and fun. The fifth major literary term is the theme, which means central message or the moral lesson of the story. For example, the teacher said that she hoped all of her students would pass with good grades. What do you think is the theme? Nice idea. The theme is optimism. But if you're having a hard time identifying themes, here are some key questions. What lesson does the author want me or the reader to learn from the literary piece? And what lesson does the author want me, the reader, to learn about life? How about the theme of your own story? The sixth major literary term is symbol. It is the practice or art of using an object or a word to represent an abstract idea. An action, person, place, word, or object reveals a symbolic meaning. For example, red symbolizes blood, passion, danger. Roses stands for romance, and dog often stands for loyalty or devotion. Do you know that some of the figure of speech can also be used as symbolism? Like metaphors, which means direct comparison of things having in common. Example, life's a roller coaster, meaning it's the ups and downs of life. What symbolizes your experience, grade 10 learners? You've got to think it right. And we're on the seventh major literary term of structuralist and formalist criticism. That is imagery. It is the literary term used for language and description that appeals to our five senses. For instance, I could hear the popping and crackling as Mom dropped the bacon into the frying pan, and soon the salty, greasy smell wafted toward me. Which among our senses appeals on the selection? That's right, sense of hearing. Basic. Can you name our five senses? Well said. Sense of smell, sight, taste, touch, and hearing. And that is imagery. And the final and eighth element, the tone of the story. Tone is the general feeling of a story or scene, which the author establishes with vivid word choice. All of the previous elements must be consistent in order to achieve the desired tone. To give you an example, and the trees all died. They were orange trees. I don't know why they died. They just died. Something wrong with the soil possibly, or maybe the stuff we got from the nursery wasn't the best. What do you think is the tone? Nice answer. Death represents melancholy or unhappy. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you have all the information about critiquing a literary piece using structuralist and formalist. Can you enumerate the 8 major literary terms of structuralist and formalist criticism? Precisely! First, plot is composed of exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. Number 2. Setting refers to place, time, weather conditions, social conditions, mood, or atmosphere. Number 3. Character can be round, flat, dynamic, and static. Number 4. Point of view consists of first, second, and third person point of view. Number 5. Theme. Number 6. Symbolism. Number 7. Imagery. And number 8. Tone. Did you get the gist?
Oh yeah!
Let's have a short comprehension checkup by identifying the element or structure used or described in the text or stem. Write your answers on your notebook. I'll give you 5 seconds in each number. Are you ready?
Oh yeah!
Good! Let's start. Listen attentively. Number 1. The turning point when Romeo kills Tybalt in the story of Romeo and Juliet. What's your answer? Great! Plot is the answer. The turning point refers to the climax of the plot. Number 2. Don't judge a book by its cover. Time's up! Tell me your answer. Right! Theme is the answer. Also, it pertains to the moral of the story. Let's proceed to number 3. The athlete's sweaty gym clothes left a musty odor in the laundry room. What is the answer? Exactly! Imagery. The cue is the word musty odor, which appeals to the sense of smell. Next, number 4. In the midst of 1930s, an eccentric hunter entered the jungle of a mysterious island. Answer? Brilliant! Setting is the answer because of the given specific place and time. Let's proceed to number 5. When the story narrated in an I perspective, what's the answer? You got it! Point of view it is. Specifically, the first person point of view. Next, number 6. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women are merely players. They have their exits and entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. Answer? Precisely, the answer is symbol due to the symbolic meaning of the comparisons. And here's the last one. Number 7. Cinderella reveals that she has kept the other slipper. She tries it on, and it fits perfectly. She and the prince are married soon after. Right, your time is up. State your answer. Amazing! The answer is tone. The text features a happy ending. Did you get all the correct answers? Wow! I'm sure you got good scores today because you were very enthusiastic during the discussion. This only means that you were able to grasp well our topic for today. Well done, my dear learners! A round of applause to all of you. Keep it up! This time, I think you are now ready to do your final task for today. And that is to critique a literary selection based on the Structuralist and Formalist approach. Are you ready to give it a try? That's the spirit! At this point, I want you to think of a story or selection that you have read before, or you would like to read for this activity. Choose the selection you want, so you can work with ease. Then, critique the story of selection using the Structuralist or Formalist approach, which analyzes, interprets, and evaluates inherent features of a text. Use a whole sheet of paper or bond paper for your criticism. Since reading and critiquing requires more time, once again, I would like you to work on it on your own pace together with the other enhancement activities on your learning activity sheets. Once more, no need to worry. Just follow the flow of our discussion today and you are at best to do it. Just believe in yourself. Aja Grade 10 learners! If you have other clarifications or questions, feel free to reach out your English subject teacher for guidance and assistance. Whoa! Look at the clock! It's time to say goodbye once again. Thank you, Grade 10 learners, for staying with us. I hope that you learned a lot from today's episode. To keep yourself abreast with the lessons, always keep tuning in and don't miss our episodes. On behalf of our scriptwriter, Ma'am Rosaline R. Ramones, together with the whole SDO Isabela RBI production team, this has been your radio teacher, Teacher Emma Luisa M. Fernando, saying, learn your greatest weakness, transform it into your greatest strength. It will then be your stronghold which you may use in achieving your definition of success. Keep on striving, learners, just to be safe so that there'll be next time. Good day!
Patuloy ang edukasyon para sa ating henerasyon.
Sa daan ng pagkatuto ay walang may iwan.
Kaya halina sa Radyo Eskwela!